Ah, I am gonna hot glue this thing to the craft table one of these days. Live dashboard. Live. We are unlisted. No. We're public. We're very public. We're all kinds of public. We're super public. We're waiting for this thing to connect. Yes, Sam. I agree with you. Well, I know I'm live, damn it, so this so I can actually view the chat. I did it right this time. I did it right. I saved all the things. I set them the way they were supposed to be set. Damn it. I know it works. Okay, let's get this. Oh, yeah, I can't wait till tomorrow when I have my stuff all set. Live! Get me to the chat. Chat. Not top chat, all chat. Excellent, Oak. I am glad to hear that. We finally got it all deconfabulated last night at length. At long last. Which is good because it was starting to drive me a little bit batty. No, Halloween punch. And become very, very tiresome. Very, very, very tiresome. Gotta make more bottles for my props. That's my excuse. This is all for the sake of Halloween. Absolutely. No other reason. Can't make witch bottles without bottles. Right.
I hope you are not getting any kind of feedback from the fan. Once again, it is, alright, did Ghostly Boat, did Spooky Brew. Let's do a Scary Night. Humid as heck out today, as per usual, so I would at least like a modest breeze coming through, so I don't turn into a sweaty pumpkin. One day I will have sufficient forethought to do all of my prep ahead of time. Hey, Twisted Knots, how we doing? Excellent! It works! It works! Fine! Awesome. I am actually, you have no idea how stoked I am to hear that after days of kibitzing with this crap, left, right, up, and down. This doesn't work, that doesn't work, this setting needs changing, that setting wasn't quite right, one little thing screwed it up. Oh, wait, now it actually works. Notifications are notifying. Satellites are linking up in outer space. Okay, good. Thanks, Ancient. Cone of shame. Oh my! You know, it's terrible to see him on a cone of shame, but also it's strangely adorable too. Excellent. So it's working for everybody. Fantastic. That's a real load off my mind. A real load off my mind. Well, good. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Tomorrow I'll have a nice monitor over there so I can see chat really big, and I won't keep having to do this all night like one of those drinking birds. Hoping that one day this chat will be responsible for lots of sticky keyboards, because people will be doing mache and wanting to type at the same time, so they have goopy hands and then they'll try to type and the key. Painful chronic eye condition. Oh dear. Well, I mean, you get to put a patch around him, dress him like a pirate, but I'd still rather him have two working eyes. Yeah, if you're, you know, I know that if I had an eye that was just stinging all the time, god awful, miserable, nothing but pain, it would be like, you know, Doc, can you just take the damn thing out? Just get rid of it. It's not like you lose all your sight, you just lose a little bit of depth perception and the ability to not get killed by weeping angels. Yes, I can afford to throw these strips. I don't want to make the strips, I'm not going to get rid of them. Precisely. If it's all inflamed and awful anyway, and I imagine he's probably got some cloudy vision. Is there a cataract formed in there at all? He's going to look amazing. Okay, an ulcer in the eye. Yeah. So having it out will just be a lack of pain. If you can't see it out of it anyway, whoop-de-flippin'-do. Pull it out, be done with it. Ah, yeah. So he's got interstitial fluid probably stuck in there that started just building up with whatever. Has he gotten infected at all, or no? I can easily see something like that resulting in kind of a bruise effect inside the eye, making it just absolutely miserable. Wonder if the tear duct got infected. I don't know. Either way, yep, that's out, over, done with, and a happier puppy. Whew. I figured that would get infected if you're not making tears. Nope, pop it out. He'll be a much happier little pup. No pain. Remove the problem. Okay. Tonight, we are going to get this thing completely varnished on the outside. I want that all spar varnished and ready to go. This guy has been sitting here for months just doing nothing. If I get him spar varnished, then I can get the painting done, get him out and down to the garage. Then we're going to varnish this guy, and we're going to see how all these new effects turned out. We're going to see how the texture of the goobers turns out. We're going to see how the texture of the braids and twists turned out. We're going to see how the texture of the Scott towel stuff comes out. So it's going to be a kind of a texture night. And if I still have time, I'm going to grab another bottle and start working on that. And we're going to get this bottle emptied so I can use it for a prop. Because, you know, that's why I'm drinking right now. Oh, no, bad idea. Okay, well, at any rate, this is the inside of the beach ball pumpkin. The inside is a hell of a lot smoother, and that's why I love it. That will be so incredibly easy to paint, as opposed to the old bag pumpkins, of which this guy is one, where the inside is a folded mess and just problematic as all heck. Let's get some light in there. Yeah, that always is tough with the nooks and crannies. The beach balls, they are smooth. I don't like when people don't neuter their pets. Both of my little kitties got the snip ASAP once I got them. Aren't there though, Chris? I mean, I love this one. Those Tim Burton twists there. I'm going to do every single bottle like that from here on out. It's going to be freaking magnificent. I can't wait. Super stoked. Whoop. Sorry, cat. Let's call this one strawberry tea. Well, the reason I'm drinking also is I have a medication called, I forget, but what it is an appetite suppressant. And when you go on it, it's not a good idea to drink alcohol. So every year my parents give me a ton of my favorite type of, lemonade for Christmas. So I have a lot sitting around. And if I go on this medication, I am not going to be able to get rid of it. It's just going to pile up. So I've been holding off going on the medication to just get a little bit more casual imbibing in, because I'm really not a heavy drinker at all. I can't wait to have the big screen because I got to kind of remember where I'm off. Good evening, Muggsy. Happy to see you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm always very careful about which end is the nozzle. Hello, my shooter. Welcome to the stream. We got it working. And I am so stoked about that. Hey, Mudflat, how we doing? How's the weather in Texas? Me too, Muggsy. Me too. This has been a long and arduous adventure of the "Ow, Mommy, it hurts, when will it stop" type. It was surprisingly simple to do, it's just time consuming. And it's that one stupid little thing that I do wrong. And I hate that. Spar urethane. Give this a little stir because it's a brand new can. I thought about grabbing my other urethane out, but that thing is so old that last time I did it, I had to break through a solid layer on top. Figured I'd just uncork a fresh one. I thought about that with beach balls. I just kind of want them full. I think I started putting a crease on the back side of this one to make ridges, but then I got really rushed and just decided to go for it. Putting ridges into the pumpkin really isn't hard. You just take some newspaper, put it in a roll, tape the roll on, mache over it, and you got a ridge. Simple. This guy will only have one ridge, so he's going to go one of two places. He's either going to go onto a scarecrow body and look down because his head's kind of tilted forward, or he's going to just get backed up against a wall like most pumpkins get anyway. Thank you, Carnage Daddy. This was the Great Beach Ball Experiment #1. And it's going to continue being the Great Beach Ball Experiment. Until I actually make some more of these guys. But we'll see. Oh, full gallon of paint. Love it. Love it. Yeah. So let's get to town on this thing. Woo! That's the urethane smell. Boy, am I glad I have some incense going. This inside's going to be done in record time compared to that other one. Because it's all smooth. There's no screwing around. Yes, yes you can. Huge beach balls. If you were so inclined. I do need to try the semi-inflated version. This one was a full inflate. My big key was, again, just the smooth inside. Just tired of dealing with all the bag creases. And with my paranoia over waterproofing, I know this is going to be very well waterproofed with the complete solid inside. Hello, cat. What's the problem? Or you could run out of the kitchen. That will also work. The goober face pumpkin, though, is going to take a while because it's an old style bag one. Biggest one I ever did was what we call him Biggie now. He's about that tall off the table, maybe 2 foot. That size will be problematic if you go full black bag. You're going to need reinforcement. We were actually chatting about that last night. Mentioned the fact that if you go really big, you're going to need some sort of structural enhancement to there. If you go maybe about 4 foot, you could get away with PVC reinforcement. And if you go bigger than that, you're probably going to need some rebar or other metal stand reinforcement. Rebar is pretty cheap, and at least in the US, widely available at many a hardware store. Or you can get some, usually some really good thick wire reinforcement. This stuff is going to be about 8-gauge wire. Does about the same job. Thinking about how careful I got to be here because I really don't want spar varnish all over my tablet screen. When I get the monitor in here, I'm going to put a piece of cellophane over the front so we can't have any happy little accidents. Or as the case may be, very unhappy little accidents. I just adore the smooth interior of the beach ball pumpkin. Absolutely, j'adore. So easy to paint. Could probably get away with fiberglass. If you had kind of a, you could almost use those bendy rods that you put at the end of the driveway so the snowplow knows not to kerplunk it. You just have to maintain a tension on them until the mache dries, and then they're under natural tension from the mache.
I think that's pretty well done. Huh. Record time. Wow.
Chicken wire is pretty good, Emily. I would agree with you. But in terms of a 4-foot pumpkin, I don't know. You could probably multiple layer it. I don't know if a single layer of chicken wire would be enough for a mammoth pumpkin. But I couldn't even count the number of Halloween projects I've seen when people have used chicken wire as a support. All sorts of cauldron creeps and good stuff like that. Woo! Oh, well. He doesn't know how to use a straw, that's for sure. Oh, cat. What's up? You're very meowy. Oh yeah, the fluorescent stuff really works incredibly well for added color. And no, I am not going to do multiple coats on this one. This is my paranoia coat. Because the truth is, I paint these with black outdoor latex. And that alone should be enough. But I do the panic layer of initial sealing, then we do black latex, and then we do all the acrylics, and then I put on a final layer of varnish. So this one's just going to get primary sealing right here and now, and then we'll kibitz with more later. Whoop! Wrong thing. I forgot. If I try to wipe off the screen, the tablet will go to something else. Come on, cat. I wasn't doing anything earlier, and you didn't care. And now that I'm doing this, now you're freaked out by the smell. Yes. What we got here? I use paint thinner. Amen, Muggsy. I can't stand the concept that mine eventually might do that, so my waterproofing measures are well and above what they need to be. Because I just don't like having that happen to projects. Fuzzy ball. You need to let Daddy stream. Fortunately, I already did a preliminary varnishing on this guy before for his top parts, and it was a lot more energetic before. So this one is set. It just needs drying time. Which means we can get on to Mr. Goopy Face. Pardon. This cat wants playtime, he wants laser, he wants all that stuff, which is what I'm around for during most of the day, but not right now. It's the first of the crafting familiars. The other one has parked herself down by the base of the camera far more quietly than the other one. It's kind of an interesting compound, because before I was using spar varnish, and this is a spar urethane. I know the materials and concepts are similar, but I can already see by the color that there's definitely a chemical difference between the two. Yeah, no kidding. The cats are just magnetized to the live stream. I didn't have my fur balls when I did chainmail, so I never had that particular conundrum with them. I think it's mostly that they're just not used to me being in the kitchen for this length of time. Pay attention to me. Meow. Rat meow. Not later, but rat meow. things are going on and I don't understand them. So I will meow to show my confusion and frustration. The cats are all new to streaming too. Oh, that's delicious. Yum. Can't wait to see how this comes out in dry brushing. Should be unique to say the least. Oh, did a bunch of searching on Amazon to try to see if there was a way to agitate the bottles with the metal powder inside. Still not coming up with lots of ideas. There's a bunch of decent motors that would do it. A lot of them are for drones, though. I don't know how waterproof they will be over a prolonged period of time. It's one of the things that worries me the most about that concept. If I dunk a motor and it agitates, will it work for just one season and the next year it's going to be a little rust pile at the bottom? Or what? Then I thought about maybe just putting oil inside the thing instead of water. That wouldn't rust. It also wouldn't freeze during the winter, and that would be another perk. As is, all the bottles I've made so far are going to have to be kept inside. Or I will return in the spring to find a whole bunch of shattered bottles. That won't be fun at all. Winter around here can usually get down to about -10, -11 Fahrenheit on a few days. Most of the time we run about 11, 12. They're not super Arctic, but they're by no means a nice, mild, 35-degree constant winter. They got a little sting in them. And with the way they've been fluctuating, we've been getting kind of good winters, bad winters, good winters, bad winters. It's been weird. It's been very weird. Oh my god, I love that effect. Woo! When I hit this piece of cotton here with the varnish, it became a little bit more translucent, and that's going to be just so amazing when I get that going. It's going to be absolutely perfect. I thought about that one too, Oak. Yeah, put something up in the cork and then drop a shaft down. That would be absolutely totally workable as well. My fear with that would still be that someone would tip the bottle and water would get into the motor housing. And yeah, I'm not super worried about it. There are some ultra cheap motors that I use for solar cars with my students every year that I would be more than willing to play sacrificial lamb and try a few of those. I just don't know if I'm going to get to it this year, mostly for the fact that at this point in time I kind of want to concentrate on things that I can get out this Halloween that I don't have to put huge amounts of thought in. That might be a winter project to completely prototype that and then release another addendum to the how-to video that I'm going to do on it. Bad winters in Wyoming, huh? The last lemonade bottle is a substance known as, and you're gonna love this name, Naluka Babuni. Don't ask me to spell it right now, but it is I'm a big mead fanatic. Shouldn't say fanatic. I like drinking meads, and Naluka Babuni is a honey-based beverage. So that's what that was. Minus 48, yep. Yeah, magnets for that project would probably be my preferred method. You'd want a motor spinning a decently powerful magnet underneath, causing a magnetic stir bar, which are pretty dirt cheap, up top to rotate. And that way your effect would be all but invisible. The nice thing about the effect also is that even if you use the drop shaft coming down from the top, the haze of the metal powder inside would completely occlude it. And if you set up your mache around the outside, then nobody would see the shaft coming down. Big time meat enthusiast, yes. I got a batch of homebrew sitting behind me that I haven't managed to bottle in the last forever and a half. I do love my meads. I love them sweet. Some people like dry stuff. I can't stand it. Been a soda drinker for too long in my life. Though fortunately I was able to kick the soda habit many years ago. But alas, the damage was done. Yeah, I got a couple of drinking horns. And by a couple, I mean 5. Horns are good. The only problem is they're tough to set down. Did a welding project 2 years ago to make a couple of mead horn holders. And the metal part's done, but I need to put some leather on them as well. And that part I haven't gotten around to, mostly because my buddy and I that I hunt with and drink with, we've just gone to using cups and mugs that we've gotten from the Ren Fair in past years because it's a lot easier. No winters in Australia. I imagine you're near the coast, since most of the interior of the country is a a bloomin' desert. Makes me think of the time I was living in England, southeast. There were no winters there either. It was just rain. While I was over there, it snowed for the first time in like 7 years. It was just a season of muck. No snow. Yeah, you could do that. I've actually seen a few folks who have had kind of a mead horn sling. At least 3 of mine have leather straps that would allow you to do that. To me, it defeats the purpose. It's supposed to be a handy receptacle, not a pain in the arse. But that's why I have a tankard. Mead horns are for out with a campfire anyway, not for sitting around the house. Got a nice horn of mead, sit by the fire, watch the flames go. Oh, fantastic times. Hey Angela, how we doing? Yeah, good old Aussie land. Don't go out at night. This species will kill you. This species will kill you. Don't go swimming. There's sharks. I've got a friend actually who was living in Perth a number of years ago. I don't know if he's still there or not. I haven't heard from him in a long, long time. But he was having a great time there. Met a nice gal. They got married in Hawaii. Alright, varnishing took a lot less time than I thought it would. Like, exponentially less. Let's try to hit those spots. I always forget. So I'm curious, how many of y'all are on Hunter's Hangout on Facebook? Anybody? Kind of just curious as to how much of a cross audience I've got with that site. I'll get twisted. I wonder if I need to put a... Well, I wonder if I need to put a waterproofing layer on my old ones too, but the fact is that I know that they're in the garage or they're out on Halloween, so they don't get hit by the UV that will cause the damage to the waterproofing layer. They are incredibly, incredibly well kept. Okay, so Tree Ghost doesn't do Facebook, no problem. Man, all the cool kids these days are supposedly on Instagram anyway. Ah, yeah, Halloween paper mache is the other good one. I'm on a couple of them. I'm like Extreme Halloween, Halloween 24/7. The problem is there's so many that if you tried to belong to all of them, you'd go absolute knucking futs. Alright, this one is done till it dries, because I am not playing with sticky fingers. Alright, I have a bucket for this one. And that's where I put it. I don't know though. I envy those hunters who are out in like Arizona. I was talking to one a couple of years ago who watched the channel and was saying, "Oh yeah, for drying, I just put the pumpkins outside. They're all dry as a bone in like 3 hours." Like, where the hell do you live? "Oh, I'm in Arizona. We can put anything out. It never rains. It just bakes the pumpkins." Drink, tree ghost. Drink. I've only had one experience with putting oil into a mache paste, and paste. That's when I copied Ultimate Paper Mache's paper clay recipe. She calls for, I think, about a teaspoonful of linseed oil into her stuff, and man, it worked pretty well. Just took 3 days to dry, which would take me off. Or you're talking mineral oil in the witch bottles. That could be possible, and yes, it would mix with the pigment without too much trouble whatsoever. That is a good thought. Plus, it's cheap as heck, so. As far as funky fluids go. Alright. I'm going to put this guy in a pumpkin bucket. BRB. Alright, cat. Move! Move! Ah! I'm happy that you're hanging out with me, Fuzzball, but oh, it's gonna tip backward. Oh. There, over here. Well, please don't fall over drying. Yeah. I do enjoy Ultimate Paper Mache. That stuff held detail better than almost any other clay I've used. Pardon. But the drying time was an absolute menace, I gotta say. I even put it in the oven on about 150 degrees for a while. A Crown Royal could be really good. Just pop that plastic off if it's got the outer coating on. I have been thinking about not so much a human skeleton, because in my opinion you'll never match the detail of a human skeleton. You're better off going out. These days they've got those $30 skeletons that are pretty much picture perfect as far as a haunt goes. Get one of those and then mache around it. That'll get you a better result. But I have wanted to do kind of a haunt crow branch evil assembly of stuff. And I may yet do that with this guy. But that's about as close as I wanted to go with it. Horse skeleton, not a chance in hell. No way. I can barely fit all the human skeletons I've got, much less a horse skeleton. We're not going to play Duck Duck Horse in my garage. No, 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 no. Yeah, corpse the bought ones. A bar would be a good stop, or go to any town recycling center. You might be able to find stuff there without a problem. Alright, so this means that tomorrow's going to be black for him. Maybe later tonight, rest of the varnish for the other one. Within about 3 days, these two should be completely painted and done. Yeah, I haven't seen the syrup bottles from Cracker Barrel, but that's one of the things I like about the witch bottle project. Anything can work. It's all up to you, as the Garfield special says. Oh no, a tragedy. We're running out. Crisis averted. Second crisis is going to be putting this somewhere where it hopefully won't spill over there. Thump, crash, spill. Damn it! I thought about that too. Walk into the liquor store. Can I help you with anything? Yeah. You got any weird bottles? I don't really care what's in them. I just want the weird bottle. Next project. Now. Reach. There we go. Next project is make another witch bottle base, at the very least. I'm an idiot because I left my heat gun in the other room. I'm with you there. Normally I don't like to do scotch or rum straight. But the universe has gifted us with many mixers, so all can be accomplished. Most joyfully. Yeah, the honey wines and meads are pretty good if you like your stuff sweet. They do make dry ones, but they taste like yak piss, so. I've never seen a patron bottle, so I will take your word for it. I believe this is patterned after a Polish beverage more commonly known as Krupnik, Krupnik, which is also a honey liqueur. It's one of the first things they started fermenting, as far as I know. Right after barley, all that stuff. Came to me in a dream, Emily. I've seen characters in movies drink it. They didn't like it. I can only assume it's bad. So it must be tasting like yak piss. Let's give one of these round ones a shot. If life is good, this should be a very, very, very easy assembly. It should also be a shallow assembly. Trying to make sure that the text is like micro small for me, so I really gotta. What are they saying? What's going on over there? That will be solved tomorrow. Your text will be big, and I will only have to glance over to know what wonderful things are being talked about. I really should do the other part of this first. How deep does it have to be? Wow. It really doesn't have to be deep at all. Let's put on a generous allotment for the Velcro. Give it a too shallow stab. Work done. Right there. I used to have a ruler over here. Fortunately, I haven't since. Just like the ruler. Same thing. I might be able to use this to make two of these. Just a little box I got from a dollar store that I thought would nicely match the dimensions. We're going to have a little bit of close enough on this. Well, one kitty is sitting in here just kind of staring at me, and the other one got a little huffy that I wasn't paying attention to him despite his non-stop meowing earlier, and has gone to parts unknown to play, sleep, eat, or do kitty things. Cherry lime, that sounds good. Very, very good. I do actually have to be marginally careful to the extent at which I describe alcohol use on my channel, for the sheer fact that I have students who, well, Suffice to say, one of the things that you should never see as a student is your teacher getting sloshed. So I will never get sloshed on here. And I will have to be careful of my alcohol references. I am glad there is a table between me and that knife. Woo! That was a close one. Yeah, pretty much. Drugs are bad. Alcohol is bad. In fact, don't do drugs. It'll be bad. In the case of my students, many of them don't have the guiding lights to differentiate well between use and abuse. I suppose getting drunk and having fun while you're young is part of it, but I waited till college at least for that. I am a primarily biology teacher, but I also do general science as well. Several units of general science. Our school is for what is commonly known as at-risk students. So these are the guys who do no homework and otherwise are just not interested in school. And we try to get them through the industrialized education system that is modern education, which a lot of them just have a lot of difficulty with. All right. Something's got to get unplugged so the heat gun can be used. And I'm not unplugging the mug. I'm also a hunter. That means I've got lots of spare electrical crap just lying around. Oh, the cats will have fun playing with that. Shouldn't have thrown that out. I'm gonna need that in a minute. Alexa Dearest is gonna get unplugged for a little while because I can't play music with her anyway. But then she gets plugged back in. And the heat gun gets plugged in. It's going to turn into an absolute plug nightmare later on. Because I got to get the monitor set up in here. It's going to be crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Cool beans, Twisted. I had to replug in a bunch of stuff. Alright, I got my AAAs there then. I want to see fresh AAAs in here. The original set was from a Pumpkin Light, which was probably okay. I don't want to use borrowed lights. Good. New triple A's.
New triple A's.
So anybody working on anything fun for Halloween this year that's new and different and off from your standard stuff? Anyone at all? I'm doing witch bottles. I don't know if you noticed or not. Behold the brightness. That is, that's going to be good. It's going to be real good. Off. I hope this thing is just going through a startup sequence, because I'm just trying to turn it off 3 times. Ah, Instagram, gotcha. Fine, on, off. There we go. Gotta check my other ones to make sure they're not responding to the same signal. Okay. Gun's heating up. Well, I'm still seeing you, Twisted, so even if you didn't freeze, you're still here. I recommend getting some stuff outside if you can, Angela. Even in years when I was in a country where they didn't do as much Halloweening, I still put some stuff out. Trying as best I could. My parents live in when I was young, we lived in a dead-end dirt road in the middle of nowhere. I still put up a little wooden graveyard because it was fun. Of course, we're also approaching that time of year where you can actually buy new decorations for the house. They go in all the stores. They call them Halloween decorations, but they're actually home decor, as we all know. Excellent. That is good. Good stuff, Oak. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you later on. Definitely, I will put the stream on up, as usual. Most folks want to have all the streaming stuff up. I have no problem with that. Otherwise, sleep well or whatever you do. I hope you're going to bed. It's getting to be that kind of crazy hour. I have a lot of my Halloween stuff up all the time inside too. It's just the standard home decor. I don't know, I see a lot of the stuff up everywhere else. Everybody's got just generic American rustic, this is an old sewing machine, this is an old teapot. And, alright, so what holiday are you into? Where's your Christmas stuff? I know it's June, but if you like that, it should be up, damn it. I suppose some folks get very generic. Actually, I should say my parents' house is always very. If you had to pick a style, it's always country. It's always a rustic country house. That's their thing. Me too. Though again, only around October does stuff become widely available. Whew. Are we hot? No, we're not hot yet. I find I get bitten by the bug at different times of the year. And go for a couple months where everything's normal, and then suddenly, ooh, the Halloween bug hits. I definitely use Amazon a lot. I haven't done as much with Etsy. If I use Etsy, I use it for more of my Norse stuff. Dang right, Tree. How we doing, Eeyore? Having a good night? I hope. Yes, that is the one great thing about Etsy. It is constant artisan stuff. Everything you buy is something somebody put together. Nothing pre-manufactured. Where'd that sparker go? Anytime, Blue Gun. It's getting there. Place your bets. How many times am I going to burn myself with this hot glue gun tonight? Happens every time. Now, I can totally make another one of these. That's awesome. I can use the bottom of this box for one, and I can use the top of this box plus the half I cut off for the other. 2 for 1. Beautiful. As long as I use these, and I have 3 of these. These bottles were a Christmas present of fine Polish honey lemonade, and they were delicious. The exact product is known as Naluka Babuni. Nalukababuni. And it is a Polish honey wine based off the Kropnikas or Kropnik honey liqueur. Yeah, I think definitely we're going to get about 7 words. I have a saying in my classroom every year: hot glue gun is hot. Because every year, all the time, ow, burn myself, ha! Hot glue gun is hot. I even give the little speech before we hand them out. Now be careful, kids. The hot glue gun is hot. Ah, she's burned. All the time. Oh, it's even embossed on the side. Now look at Babuni. See if we can be careful, though. I don't particularly enjoy getting hot glue gun burns. I don't think anybody enjoys getting hot glue gun burns. Just never fun.
At any rate, though, the basic for the witch bottle is you just got to find something where it'll give you a hollow underneath for your power supply and whatever lights you choose to put on there. In this case, I'm pretty lucky that this is a simple, easy box that's already there. Use a cardboard box. Use whatever you got. I like to go to the dollar store and just see what I can find. Have that little scouring sponge over here somewhere. There it is. Let's get a dollar thinner. Witch bottles. Where did I come up with this idea? I think, honestly, just looking at things online, the original experiment for this kind of effect with any kind of fluorescence is usually putting tonic water into a bottle and hitting it with a black light, and you watch it kind of glow. And I'm pretty sure I've seen some other people do this for Halloween. So it's just a matter of how can we expand upon the idea and get it better. And if anything, better is generally more reliable and more within my particular idiom, because I like a particular style of haunt. And sometimes you'll see this stuff in the happy haunts. I know a few folks have already used it for glowing fountains. I don't know if you guys have seen the one online where this gentleman has there's one that's really horrible. It's like a face that's all, in absolute agony facing up, and it's burbling a blood-like fluid out of its mouth. And I believe that person originally put it on there with a glow. Woo, dust. So that was the start of the concept. But I just wanted the glowing fluid because if it's Halloween night and you have a cool bottle with some weird stuff on it and let's just say red water inside, you're going, oh, it's the blood of the innocent. People really can't see it in a torchlight or candlelight environment. So you need something more visible as being magical and kooky. So hence just add the glow fluid. It's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. Tree Ghost, are you still here? I thought you said you were going a while ago. Have a great night, man. And happy hunting to you as well. I am right with you there, Angela. I do not like blood and gore. Not one bit. Some folks do. Some folks get a lot into it. I don't do blood, gore, chainsaws, or that stuff. I work off of dread. It's a more scalable scare. Because I get, 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds getting wheeled through my haunt every year, and I want them to have fun, and I want them to come back next year. I don't want them so paralyzed with terror that they just don't ever want to come back to our haunt. I want everybody to have a good time. If I owned a haunted house or had a haunted trail and people were paying me to come in there, then it would be, yeah, go ahead, traumatize. Why? Because you paid for it. You didn't come here to get mildly amused. You went to a haunted house to get scared. And if you didn't, why did you hand me X number of buckos? Nobody goes to a haunted house to get amused. Now I'm sure I could just glue this thing to the bottom and it would be fine, but I really like to lock this project in place, which means more glue. a really set boundary between the two that'll keep that bottle firmly onto its base. I won't have to worry about it. Because I love paper mache. I think paper mache is very sturdy, but I don't consider it to be a very load-bearing material. That means you got a good scarecrow, man. Some people pay through the nose to have a scarecrow like that. Be happy. I'm starting to go a little too fast here. Gotta make sure the bottle's clean when I'm gluing it on. Hey, Rose the Crafter, how you doing? Funnily enough, I love doing paper mache too. Such a versatile art form that I never would have expected if I hadn't watched Jim J. Walden. I forget his actual full name. He's the one who got me fired up initially on the whole thing. So what'd you build your cheap, easy scarecrow out of? Well, I just saw your comment pop right up now, Twisted Knots. Timestamp is 1:48 a.m. as of the time I yammered that. So hopefully that gives you a clue as to how fast your comments are coming in. Yep, we're just chatting, crafting, and having some fun, Rose. Having a grand old time. Got 2 pumpkins varnished, 2 pumpkins drying. Prepping witch bottle number 4 right now. That's gonna be amazing. Especially now that I got my style worked out. Though this one is the experiment with the waterproof LED hockey puck. Done the string lights, done the underneath UV lights, and now we're going to do this one. And whichever one I think is best is the one I'm going to recommend in the tutorial. And also whichever one shows up best on camera. It'd be really stupid to have a tutorial going, as you can see here with the lights, and everybody's looking at the video going, I don't see a goddamn thing. He's crazy. Afraid to start a pumpkin? Nonsense! I mean, you can't even screw it up, and it can sit half-finished in your kitchen for 2 years. As might happen to somebody I've never heard of. I think the problem, Angela, is that, at least for me, and I know a lot of my school students have this, you see other people doing it, you see how their project came out, and if yours doesn't match the standard of what you see on somebody else, you feel oftentimes like you screwed up and you made it not work. But that's just one of the hurdles to cross. The truth is, your first of anything is not going to turn out the way you wanted it. My first pumpkin looks like garbage compared to the stuff I do now. But you just have to accept that your first one's always going to be a little wonky. Have fun with it, play with it, and then pick it up on your second or third pumpkin. Ooh. Swaying arms and a scarecrow. I love that concept. I love your description, Emily. I love it. That's sounding more and more like a project I want to do. Because I got a foam head. Boom, head of foam. Can be done. I almost got clobbered by a foam head. I may yet get clobbered by a foam head. Who knows? Yeah, I would definitely argue time-consuming. But time-consuming in the extent, at least, that it's something you can always control. If you want to put a layer on and stop, put a layer on and stop. You're under no obligation to run the whole thing all the way through. Just again, accept the fact that it's not going to come out perfect the first time. Play with it, have fun with it, and just concentrate more on enjoying the project than what your final expectations are of it. I have done this project twice with students, and I always tell them, you're always going to screw up the first one, because everybody does. And you're going to do this on everything. My first batch of mead was vile. Absolutely awful. I ended up pouring a lot of it down the drain. But I figured out what I did wrong, and then I did it again. I love that concept, Death Fairy Alchemist. Alright, Twisted. Let me know if that clears up the bugs. I don't know if anybody else is having the trouble. Cool. That is that. Woo! Making a set of witch boots. I would make a set of stuff to go over a pair of shoes, perhaps. But I don't know about a full set of boots. That's some next level cobbler skills right there. Awesome, Twisted, and thanks for chiming in, Althea. It's good to know that if other people are having trouble too. Yeah, overshoes are something very widely used in Ren Fair. It's just a boot-like outer piece that just fits over your shoe. Your shoe's on the inside, it just covers it up, makes it look like a more medieval style boot. Yeah, good. Good. Just willing the hot glue to cool down. Just throw a quick little bit around the inside too. too much there because I kind of want to Velcro this thing to the underside of the bottle. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that now. More I look at the bottle's shape, I may have to make kind of a strap. Portland, Oregon. Very cool. Is it true that it's often very rainy in the Oregon and Washington region? Cloudy and overcast. I always see that in certain films, and I was kind of curious if it was true. Constant cloud cover. Gotcha. So there is something to it. I should give the bottom a hit of glue as well for waterproofing. Smudge that on there. Last thing I want is for this cardboard to wick water up into the system. I'm right with you. Of all the situations of weather I despise, heat is right up there. I'm a big fan of rain myself. As long as it's not, too constant. I do, on off times, want to go outside and do things. Of course, the worst thing is rain on Halloween. Oh, many years been spent staring at the weather report. Is it gonna rain? Is it gonna rain? Are we gonna get trick-or-treaters tonight? Oh my God! The box will get waterproofed by all the wood stain and other stuff around it. But I won't be applying that to the very bottom. So that's why I want this covered up to stop water from wicking into it. Even if it does, it won't be a huge tragedy. But taking this one little preventative step for a few minutes right now will spare me agony later, should it occur. So that's why I'm just throwing a quick little layer of hot glue and then mushing it into the fibers. There we go. 106. Oh. When it's 80 here, I'm scorched. Can't imagine 106. Smoke, huh? You getting forest fires, Twisted? I like the fairy lights, surprisingly. I think I'm also going to do one more test bottle where I'm going to wrap the fairy lights just around the bottom of the bottle and the base, so I don't have them running up and down the inside. I think their brightness is absolutely unparalleled. I was wondering about that. I once saw some satellite images of some of the big forest fires. I saw all the smoke they were just carrying further afield. It's astounding. All right. 118. Oh, shoot me. No, thank you. Wow. 87 at 1 a.m. I hate to think what it's like at 3 p.m. It's going to be pretty obnoxious heat-wise.
Nope, at 118, put a fork in me. I'm done. Sit inside of an air-conditioned bunker. Thank you very much.
The outside is poison. Can't go out there. I knew there were forest fires going out there. I just didn't know how prevalent they were. Oh, 110. Ugh. Likewise, yuck. You keep using these numbers. I do not think they mean what you think they mean. There is no number above 95. There is no such thing. Is there another drought going on, Twisted? I was wondering, the last big drought I remember was the California droughts that were fueling all the wildfires out there. I had to tell people not to set off fireworks on the 4th of July for fear that one little errant misuse could start up a monstrous blaze. Alright, so sporadic in your area at the very least. Oof, pardon. This thing's getting ready to goober. I'm wondering if I should toss the fluid in first, or if I should goober it and toss the fluid in later. I'm not putting fairy lights in, so I don't have to worry about putting fluid in with boiling water at the same time. Oh dear, now here's the Yosemite. Sucks.
Think cool thoughts.
Yeah, my window's just showing the dark of the night out there. I'm actually kind of curious as to the temperature. Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 65 degrees. Today, expect a high of 77 degrees.
Well, there you go. Everybody envy me. Ah, scrolling text. Scrolling tiny text. Have a good one, Rose City Crafter. Good meeting ya. Swing by if you get the chance. I'll be here all week. All I know is I hate heat waves. Absolutely despise them. Heat is misery. To me, at least. I have some work colleagues, though, who love the heat. I've got a colleague who goes to Florida quite often and loves it. The hotter the better for her. I think she's nuts. Good night, Rose. Yeah. There. I know what I should do next. I should try to mount the lights. Let's see how problematic
it's going to be. Alright. Velcro is going to be tricky. At least if the light falls down, though, it should still beam up from underneath, even if it doesn't want to stick on the top. The tree city, very nice. Velcro. Heard wonderful things about Montana. Closest I've ever been was South Dakota to see Mount Rushmore when I was a wee little sprat. Alright, should I have hooks on top, pad on the light, or should I have pad on top and hooks on the light? Does it even matter? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's the sensor. That is... I don't know what that is. That looks like a plate that holds the circuit in place. So can I cover it? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave the sensor uncovered.
Closest I've gotten to Montana was playing Far Cry 5, unfortunately. But games are not reality.
Let's do 2 of these. This is not going to be my all-time choice for how well to hold this thing. Two of these. But hey, this is the Super Stick Velcro. Alright, y'all have to forgive me for a minute. I need to use the restroom. Whoop. As I bump into the camera. I'll be back momentarily. Hello, kitty cat.
All right. You know, you really could do that too. A foam cube would be fine. Anything that gives you space underneath to hold the electronics is perfect. And I'm just going with this cardboard because it was easy and cheap to come across. And also, I can guarantee that anybody that I make a tutorial for will have this in their house or be able to acquire this easily. It's one of the big things with the props is you can't be, here, you have to use this ultra specialized tool, or you need to get this material. Granted, we both know foam is not that expensive, but I want somebody who might be otherwise daunted by the project at the start to not feel bad about it, or not even feel vaguely nervous about it in any way, shape, or form. And I think I knocked a piece of foam on the floor, or Velcro fuzz. Let's find out. Well, I don't see it, so that means I definitely must have knocked it down there. Because they run away and hide. I'm also going to scooch this camera a little closer to the project area. One of the things I want to play with is making sure that you guys get a good view of what's going on. We are a bunch of night owls. Well, I'm a messed up sleep schedule owl, so. And I appreciate you taking your time, Emily. I really do. Crafting late is the best. I agree. Everything gets so much weirder and more imaginative when your Lepticons are hiding your crafting material as you're working. Another thing that might actually work good with that too is if you got a piece of those cheap foam coolers, you could just take 4 walls of that, knock them together for virtually any size bottle you have. It would be reasonably sturdy without a problem. I'll have to mention that in the video. Friggin' leprechaun! Ran off with my Velcro. Alright. I'm going to go hooky part on the light and foamy part on the bottle. Hopefully 4 tiny pieces of Velcro will be able to hold this hockey puck on there. I think it will, but we'll see. Hi, Madge. Come here, little pieces, stick 'em. That came right off. That was surprising. Usually you sit there for 5 minutes picking at it. Alright. Piece 1. There we go. Here's the one I have to sit here for 5 minutes picking at. Never mind. Not obstruct any light. Oh, close enough. Oh no. Oh no. Mug is emptying. No, 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 no. Nope. Nope. Good. I have acquired another craft bottle. I love how that works.
If I drop this on there in a diamond configuration, that would obscure even less lighting area. Why am I worrying about it? It's never going to obscure that much light. So a bunch of very bright LEDs. There's no way in heck I'm going to do that. Yeah, we have a bigger problem. That's not a problem. There's lots of bottles. There's no way I'll be able to get into all of them before I get on that medication, but I definitely want to lower my amounts. I'm determined to start that med next week, come hell or high water, because I've already put it off for 2 weeks. There's no point in having a medication that you're not going to take, so I want to get that started. Okay. One fluffy piece. $99 bottles of mead in my tummy. Actually, no, that would be alcohol poisoning, and easily, that condition that arises from drinking way too much water, and I'm trying to think of its name, and I can't. And it starts with H. I'm pretty sure it starts with H. Why am I arguing? I live in the 20th century. Alexa, what condition can you get from drinking too much water?
I don't know that one.
God damn it, Alexa. I did finish yesterday's bottle, Angela. Give me a second. This mead is Strawberry Shadows by a place called Earl Estates Meadery, and it is one of my more all-time favorite meads because it is closest to the stuff that I personally brew. The flavors are very, very, very similar. Let's just cover this part here because reasons. Yep, Earl Estates Meadery. Very good stuff. There's the other piece of fuzz. God dang it. Stuck to my arm. Well, at least the hockey puck isn't coming out. So that's good. Let's test the efficacy. That's the square string lights. This is the hockey puck. On. Be blue. Be green. Be red. Be funky in between colors. Ooh, turquoise. That just looks pretty. I like that. Makes me happy to look at it. Then strobe.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
I didn't ask you. Alexa, stop. Yeah. Hyponatremia. That's the one. Thank you for checking that out. Remember it started with an H. I've discussed it before with students. Usually in the beginning of the year where it's, isn't that a chemical? Kid, everything is a chemical. Everything is not a chemical? Yes, it is. Even water is a chemical. What? Yep, you can die from drinking too much of it. No, you can't. Yes, you can get hyponatremia. One of the many fun conversations to have with students. Yeah, I like the hockey puck so far. I especially do like the strobe factor. I wish there was a substance that I could put into the bottle that would make it slightly cloudy. And perpetually slightly cloudy. Not settle to the bottom after a while, slightly cloudy. But I don't know of one
that will not settle. Because that way it wouldn't matter. It would only matter on the color of the light. You could have any color of fluid in there, and the vaguely, slightly cloudy water would just catch it and bring it out. Because flour would settle, starch would settle. You could put a 50-50 mix of milk in there, but then it would rot. So you'd have authentic witchy smells. Oh dear. And Angela, for your benefit, this is the bottle from yesterday. So it's all finished up. And I love it. Oh my god, I love it. I just have to paint the on-off switch so it has no 0 and 1 shape on it. It's just all black. Or I can hit it with a Sharpie right now. That will also work. Well, I don't know. I kind of like the fact that they don't heat up, honestly. You could do the oil and water trick. You could make it like a lava lamp. That's why I was thinking one person suggested putting a... I'll whack that no matter what I do. Sorry. One person suggested putting an aerator inside, and you could have it bubble up, have water, colored water on the bottom, oil on the top, and it would take bubbles of stuff up with it. Could potentially work. Would an essential oil stay cloudy, though? Like perpetually stay cloudy? Because I'm looking at my perfect concept for the type of cloudiness would be like really, really watered down milk. Or like add a pinch of flour to it kind of cloudiness. So the light always has something to scatter off of, and you can always see it. I'm not sure if an essential oil would stay perpetually cloudy. Of course, I think it might stay cloudy enough that on Halloween night, if you gave it one good shake-up, it would stay cloudy enough for that night. It makes me wonder. Auger. I don't know. I don't know, Paul. Good to see you again, by the way. So the only augers I'm familiar with are the gelatin augers that would turn into a little bit of a cubey affair over time. That's one for research. Give me some time on that. See if I can find something that keeps it vaguely cloudy. As is, the highlighter solution is simple, easy, and effective. Alright, I'm wasting time here. I need to get more done on this. It's fun, it's good, it's cool, but it needs to be done. There's nothing worse than a crafter who won't just shut up and get some crafting done. I need my paste, and I really would like to fill that thing up. Let me get some water boiling too. Dry ice would conceivably work, but this needs to be a filled, sealed container. And either cornstarch or flour in there forever will rot, so yeah. Alright, I'm going to knock the camera a little bit because I got to get out, over, do some stuff. I got to start water boiling, and I got to get my stuff to start putting goobers and mache on this. forgive me the fuster clucking. It's filling. That's gonna move the camera. Shea paste. Pardon. Use too much water. It's fine. Get boiling. Stop tripping over things. There we go. All right. Stop kicking the camera. One of the problems with tripods that could possibly work. Just a little bit of frosting on the inside to catch it. That could be a solution. For this one, I'm going to use the old standard of highlighter fluid. I'm going to ponder that problem a lot. My only concern with the frosting on the inside, at least for this one, if with string lights, that's no problem. For this one, the light's going to go straight up. String lights will come out and they'll hit that side. The reason I want a cloudy fluid in there is as the light goes up, I want it to hit the particles and scatter out. And if the light's going mostly straight up, that will light. But I definitely want a fluid in there to do it with. We'll see. Let's see. I'm thinking thoughts. Lots of possibilities. Fundamentally, you can use whatever you want as long as you get the light color. I just like having the glowing fluid. Well, the dog's in pain, so... Fair play to the little rascal. Got a cone of shame on. His eye probably hurts still. Little accidents, nothing that bad. Nope, sadly, I just kicked myself in the pants and said, alright, gotta get going here. Gotta get this project rocking on. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about a switch in there. Looks like one of my pieces of Velcro isn't sticking. And indeed, when I pulled this off, it just completely popped right up. Hooks. Let's see if we can orient these pieces. That was there. So let's get this piece here. The only thing that slightly concerns me right now is that these pieces of Velcro, well, it doesn't bother me too much because no matter where I put these pieces of Velcro, even if I obscure one light, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's still 9 more lights going to get on this no matter what. Oh, this is... This is not going to Velcro well. At least it's not going to overhead Velcro well. But that's okay. There's other ways to use Velcro on this that will work fine. Alright, that's going to require a little bit more finagling. I'm still going to use Velcro. I'm just... Super glue fumes will definitely cloud up the sides. Indisputably. I'm looking for a way mostly though to cloud the liquid inside. With it being a sealed system. Part of me is thinking that the essential oil is probably the best way to make that happen with a permanent sense. I've got some in the other room. I'll probably test it tomorrow night. I've grabbed a few. I've got a couple of salsa jars that I can fill with fluid, add some stuff to, throw one of these hockey puck lights underneath, and experiment. Let's give it the obligatory one mache layer. Alright, catch you in a sec, Twisted. Hug your puppy for me. I love pets. Pets are one of those things that makes the world worth being in. Right, pet? Right. We're gonna have to play with the laser with the cat later on. He looks a little downtrodden, Sam. I am probably going to use a strap that goes underneath it, kind of like a cradle. Yes, and I will seal the strap on with a Velcro piece. So it just slips and slides right on and holds it in there. That's probably the best solution since the current bits of Velcro don't seem like they're going to hold stuck to the glass. So we're absolutely going to go with a cradle sling concept. I think, though, just kind of spitballing right now, when I do the final tutorial video, I'm probably going to recommend fairy lights for the sheer fact that you can either take the string and put all the lights around the base and have them beam up and in that way with all their various options, or you can feed the string down into the bottle. I think that'll give folks their greatest versatility with the project. Now, if you found a fluid that was kind of perpetually cloudy and would never go bad, that could work, Paul. Absolutely. There's probably a few commercial beverages that would do that and hold. We shall see. More experimentation will happen, to be sure. That's why I love this prototyping phase. Get to hash off the ideas, and now I have a whole bunch of people to bounce ideas off of. Yuck, 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 yuck. Nosy toes. I have not heard of nosy toes. Wonder if I should take another layer further up. Can't hurt. In no rush. May as well. There we go. I'll throw a skin on. Start goobering. I think I have enough shea paste here to do that. I was thinking earlier tonight I needed to make some more paste. I still need to make some more paste, but didn't need to make it for this evening. So that water hasn't fully started boiling yet. Which is weird, because my kettle is usually pretty fast. Price Chopper Plaza. Alright, I know the one. I know of the store, just haven't been in there. Yes, kitten? What for, you meow? Most alcohols usually store very well. Depending on how high the alcohol concentration is, they won't freeze.
You pet? Come on. Come get some pets. Hey, cat. Oh, good boy. Good boy, Sam.
All right. Getting there, getting there. Getting there fast. Start goobering this. Don't worry about the hockey puck later. I can always test it right now by just putting that thing underneath and letting it beam up. Oh, the paste? No. The paste does not store well. Most paste will last about a week, 2 weeks tops. You can add some stuff to it to make it last longer. About a cap full of pine sol will increase the life by another week or so. You can add salt to it to give it an extra 3, 4, 5 days. But paper mache paste is not something we want to keep around perpetually. Not by a long stretch. Yeah. I have forgotten about paste in my fridge before. That was not a fun experience. What's this? Oh, God. Don't open it. Don't open it. You left the evil out. All right, my foot is going to whack the camera, so that. Kind of wondering about camera positioning. Because my tripod is very big. I wonder if I could use a smaller little hobby tripod and get a better result. Wow. Yes, linseed oil will definitely help. The other thing you can do is, instead of using kind of mache paste with flour, you can also just take Elmer's glue, water it down 50-50 with water, and that stuff will never go bad, reasonably. Won't mold up. There's a lot of advantages to using the watered down glue. And the only reason I don't is because I don't. When I come across a cheap enough Elmer's, or if I have enough Elmer's around at one go to do it, I might think about it. But I can make a lot more volume of paper mache paste with 1 gallon Elmer's. Because 1 gallon Elmer's will make 2 gallons of watered down Elmer's. Whereas 1 gallon Elmer's will make me maybe about 20 gallons of paste. That is true. Flour is not the only thing that causes mold. The starch does a great job of that too. You know, I probably ought to. Probably ought to keep the original witch bottle up here in case anybody joins the stream and isn't sure what's being made. Yeah, pretty much. Because I only use 1 cup. Well, let's see here. Actually, I'm kind of thinking a little bit off. It's 1 cup of glue per a standard recipe. Standard recipe gets you, my container's not here, gets you at least about a ½ gallon of paste. So 1 cup, there's in a gallon, there's, alright, I can make 8 gallons ish of paste. 20, yeah, that was a little high. My bad. Bad estimate. Not so good with the math. Bad for a science teacher. So 1 will get you 2 or 1 will get me 8. I go for 1 will get me 8. Let's see if that fold stays still. Dollar store does have the tiny glues, but even for their cost at the dollar store, I usually find I'm better off just getting a full gallon. That'll run me about $12, and I've got the whole thing there at once. If I spend $12 on tiny glues, that will not be a gallon of glue. Ooh, good calculation question. How many pumpkins would that make? So 1 pumpkin, about this size, I will usually have to make at least 2 batches of paste. That's 2 cups. Ooh. Actually, I can think about this more simply. I've made about 15 pumpkins. I've gone through 1 gallon of glue and maybe 1/3 of another. So 1 1/3 gallon. So maybe about 12 pumpkins would be my guess. I know I can get the gallons of Elmer's glue here at Lowe's, or I can order them on Amazon for cheapy. And depending on how things are going at school, sometimes I can do this project with the students and make a demonstration pumpkin with them and use some of the glue off the class budget to make one pumpkin. Although I have given those pumpkins away in most cases and not kept them. I don't like wasting school budget. Oh, don't worry about wasting paste. This stuff is so cheap. Don't even worry. If you've got a container of it and you've filled your container of it and you've still got, you know, a little bit left at the bottom of whatever mixing thing you got, just pour it down the drain. The amount of materials this stuff consumes is really negligible. Really negligible. Wood glue. Yeah, I've seen some folks using that. That's also a by the gallon affair. I got a gallon of that back in the classroom too. Can't remember the last person I saw using wood glue, but they were using it to great effect. They were also doing some other funky effects with it. So it wasn't just pumpkin. I know I have used it before as a wood filler. Take your wood glue, mix it with sawdust, and boom. You got wood filler for a project, which can also be slightly moldable depending on how big of a wad of it you're using. It is, yeah, but I don't know, for materials for pumpkins, I've never found myself counting pennies, because any gallon I use is going to last me through several pumpkins. Any giant bag of flour I get, you know, $7-8, it's going to last me 6, 7, 8 pumpkins. So the cost per pumpkin is always so low that I don't usually sweat materials prices, and that's also why I don't worry about, you know, pouring a cup full of paste down the drain. It's by the unit so cheap. Oh, every year, Paul. Every year. Until I get my own house, which hopefully will happen this year sometime, maybe next year, I don't know. Gonna keep haunting Locust Street. As long as my friend Will lives there too. Somebody else moves in, I might have a little bit of a problem. Hi, I'm here to haunt the house. What? I'm here to haunt the house. It's in the contract. You bought the house, I'm the haunter. Oh, that would be fun. Going out to look at houses. Yes, and this is a lovely 2-bedroom colonial, and it comes with its own haunter. Yep, Elmer's glue supposedly is also waterproof when it dries. I haven't really used it much myself, but it's what everybody tells me. My hand went near the mug. That's the reason to drink. Right, cat? Yes. Look at you licking your chops like it's food time. Food time was at 6 p.m. That's the time food time is every day, cat. Alright, so I need one more piece for a joint.
That took longer than I planned it to. But I'm having fun, so it doesn't really matter. I haunt Will Rexroth's place. He is the husband of an old friend from college, and he teaches technology over at Unadilla Valley. It is his house I haunt year after year with my buddy Don. I had to make some iron ground hooks and hang a few of these. Just have them lit, glowing, and swing. Be shite for light, but good for spook. Ah! Well, you have just saved me some tragedy, Twisted. Hey, Drac, are the pumpkins okay? It's alright, I used Elmer glue. It's waterproof. Why do we have pumpkin puddles this morning? You said they were fine. Oh, no. The internet lied to me, and I never saw it coming. The internet, which normally tells no fibs. Oh, dear. Okay. Huh, that's that. Bottom done. I could throw that in the fan for about a minute and it would be dry. Let's start talking goobers. Make sure as much of the schmutz is cleared off as possible. Though I'm thinking maybe for hanging lights, going more with what Paula said earlier, something that's got a frosted green side, and put the lights inside of that. Because quite frankly, hauling 30 gallons worth of water in fluid lighting from one place to another might get a little annoying every Halloween. Yeah, we should experiment with some swinging witchwood lights. They'd all be battery powered. Yeah. Hey Alexa, set a reminder.
What's the reminder for?
Swinging witchwood lights.
When should I remind you?
3 p.m.
Okay, I'll remind you at 3 p.m.
There we go. Nothing worse than having a good idea and letting it go away because you just didn't scribble it down at the moment. Of course, I can do that too. I have a Sharpie right here and a napkin. Swinging witchwood lights. How would I make a swinging witchwood light? I would get a very tiny beach ball or balloon. I have balloons around here somewhere. I got the bug. Give me a second. I want to see if I got those balloons.
Swear to God, if I got one, I'm going to start making it right now. Damn. That's where they were. Damn. Oh, the idea's got me on fire. It'd be so easy. Be so easy. I just need something round. I need a tiny beach ball. Ooh. Okay. Calm down. Shh. So I don't have those balloons. I must have brought them into class or school or something. I could do them with mason jars, but that would be needlessly heavy. I can do them with cardboard. Oh. Okay. Okay. I took a little too deep a hit off the crafting pipe. A little bit too deep. It's okay. I'm better now. I'm not going to break off in random project. I'm still totally psyched about it. But I'm going to let the wave just subside. Okay. Oh yeah. Translucent nail polish would work. I was thinking get some milk jug. Well, concept that I have. Get a round shape. Paper mache it. Not extensively. And then cut large sections out. So I've got like a wirework paper mache. Don't concentrate on doing a sphere. And then in all the areas that I have cut out where around the wirework, because the wirework's going to hold it together, and where I'm going to put all the witchy branches, take the side of a milk jug and cut that plastic off. Give it a hit with a heat gun. Make sure there's no shapes on it, or give it a little crinkle with the heat gun, and then lay that in there. And so you would have a sphere surrounded by the branchy creep shapes with a green light inside that is battery powered. And that could be super sexy. Yeah, you could use jute twine balls as well. I was going to use mache though, simply for the fact that oh god, if I had some wire right here, I swear to God, I'd start doing it. But they have to be sizable enough. Oh, come here, lights. So I'm still basing the concept off of these battery light packets. So they've got to be large enough to put the battery chamber in there somewhere easily accessible to turn them on and off. And then the lights have got to get wrapped around a central core. So that's still what I'm working for. Because I'm going all battery powered, and I'm going all AA's or AAA's. I am just tired of working with screwy ass battery shapes. If I can't buy it at Walmart, I ain't using it. And I'm talking like buy it easy at Walmart, not go back to the Wacko Jacko battery box and spend 5 minutes looking at the side. Do you have XYZ QZ 228 AA X9 3.7 volt batteries that are in a hexagon formation? No. AA, AAA, done. Nothing else. Man, that idea's got me stoked. We're doing that tomorrow. I'm gonna get what I need. And go to the dollar store and get balloons. If they have jute twine, I get that. I don't know if I want to do it out of jute twine or if I want to do it out of mache. I'll have more control over the shape with mache. I don't want to do paper clay. There's no need for it. It's all going to be obscured in cotton goobers anyway. Maybe start with a wire frame. I've got the perfect little gizmo for it somewhere, but it's not big enough for the battery compartment. Okay. If I think about it, I'll go nuts. Goobers, bottle. Yes,
That's what we're doing.
Before I get my hands goopy with the goobers, I'm going to put the highlighter fluid in there. That's what we're going to do. Alright, drink.
Camera Jocelyn 3, 2, 1. I know what you got. Ooh, come on.
Go white. Okay. Whoa. Boiled some heat up.
That, and funnel.
There's the funnel. Fuck frickin' foobar, move the frickin' funnel. Nope, that's a blender. Funnel. Oh. Okay, we're gonna have to do this without a funnel. Funnel fund off.
With my pipe cutter, hopefully. And that doesn't have a blue highlighter, so yeah.
Oh, the funnel was on the shelf. I had another one over there. I was looking for my white one. But thank you. Such is the life of an elf. I can't wait to have that monitor up tomorrow. Alright. Gloves. Gloves and funnel. Gloves. Ooh, hey. Little wooden discs. Little wooden discs for wood burning things into the side of the witch bottle. Just two. Oh, pukey. gloves. Unfortunately, I got these gloves about 6 years ago, so one out of every pair always seems to rip. Latex does not age particularly well. I'm going to set a few more reminders. Alexa, set a reminder. Alexa, set reminder.
What's the reminder for?
Swinging Witchwood lights.
When should I remind you?
6 p.m.
Okay, I'll remind you at 6 p.m.
In case I sleep through the first one. I was lucky one of the highlighters I busted up was really nice and cloudy. If I am lucky, I can encounter another one like that. Let's not be stupid and have a paper towel or two nearby. Normally I do this over the sink, so I have the water stream right there, but right now I don't. A box or Z? You have to clarify that one for me, Emily. Oh, XL gloves. Okay. A box of Z.
I don't know that.
Alexa, stop. Say a whole box of Z or just a small? I've done that before. Never feel bad. Alright, so we're squeegeeing the highlighter ink into the boiled water. This will give us the lovely UV reactive fluid that won't go bad, which is my biggest key here. I really kind of want a gallon of propylene glycol though, just because I can add that to the mix and it'll also give it an antifreeze quality, because I'm not looking forward to hauling 16 zillion of these witch bottles up after Halloween every single year, because man, on Halloween I am bushwhacked. Absolutely bushwhacked. I'm glad I let that cool down a little bit. We have the cooking pot that will never be used for cooking. Alright. Garbage, garbage! There's the witch soup. I know it's non-toxic, but I really want to make sure my cats don't get into it. Another funnel. I should just write dunce on it and put it on top of my head. Let's use the smaller of the funnels that was right in front of us the entire time. I'll be fine. Okay. Never pour from a cooking pot. It will always splash on you. And here we go. Good, the sink looks a little cloudy. Okay. You could use antifreeze, yes. It is more expensive though, and I could get more propylene glycol for cheap and then just add it to a gazillion of these. Alright, right back, I'm going to do the dishes. Camera's moving. Here. Come for ball. Oh, it's not needed. Good. Be careful of that. Be real careful of that. Okay. Oh. The other reason I don't think I would use antifreeze, especially in the tutorial, is I would want this to be, if I was doing this project with a child, I would not want to run the risk that they would get into that antifreeze. Most parents are pretty smart. Some parents are not. And although that's a long shot, man, I wouldn't want to get that call. Are you the guy that made this YouTube video? Yep, there's a dead kid because he... I would never forgive myself. These will fluoresce under black light. Absolutely. And more importantly, they will fluoresce under that is not a straight piece. I'm so putting this under remote control. They'll fluoresce under many blue lights as well. This is the turquoise setting, which is absolutely gorgeous to me right now. That one's the best bet. Marking the control. And if for some reason I want it red, I can do that. Yellow, orange. Shades of whack. That one's the best though. That is. You can go white. That's the best setting. Right there. Gorgeous. Woo. Yeah. I can turn the brightness down. I can turn it up. I can tell it to fade. I can tell it to smooth transition. I can tell it to flash. Strobe. I can set that color that works so well and tell it to strobe. Quite frankly, from your guys' perspective, your best bet is to look at this spot here with the reflection in the window. This is going to give you a more accurate color corrected version of what it looks like. Because right now you're just seeing super high luminescence, but from what I'm seeing on the camera, that reflection is what I'm seeing. And that's my favorite. Because that's beautiful. There's no dispute that is a witchy liquid. I'm gonna let that correct. These lights, I got them off Amazon. And I got a whole series of them just to test different stuff out. And this is the hockey puck, and oh my, it's beautiful. I love it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of the hockey puck right now. Massive, massive puck fan. But yeah, this one, string lights. Actually, let's do a little compare contrast here. String lights. This is the original prototype. This is the hockey puck. Gonna have to do something about this though when I pick it up. Oh, it's because the puck is there. If the puck is actually up here, that won't be anywhere near as visible from the bottom. Oh, and we have super prototypes. Yeah, there. Yes, we're also looking for crystal balls. Totally agree. My original prototypes are nowhere near as bright as these other two variants. Possibly because they're running off of 2 AA's as opposed to 3. I might be able to swap battery holders on these and rig another one in there. That wouldn't be hard to wire. Let's see if I can get some more juice. These, however, are ultraviolet lights, just meant to pick up on the fluorescence in the bottle, whereas these other guys are just string lights or the hockey puck. And just their brightness is unparalleled compared to these originals. So, I may end up ripping all the wiring out of here and throwing one of these in, because I love that. That is amazing. It's hell, even doing that makes it super amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna rewire this one. My original design was not as good as I would have liked. But hey, we learned things. We learned lots. We learned buy from Amazon. They're amazing. Oh dear. Okay. Back to projecting. This thing still needs goobers. Oh, we're gonna do this again. No, we're not. I can remove that. Alright. Both circ waterproofs. Missing a remote here. Where's the remote for? Duh. Oh, it's not underneath. Or it's supposed to be. Wow, that's... Ooh. This one's going to need a Velcro to it underneath, but it has either come off or I did not replace it correctly. Fortunately, there's a solution. And get lost. So I don't know where that one went. I hope I don't step on it. Night, Twisted Knots. Night, Emily. It's good to have you all here. I appreciate all your viewing and comments, and especially getting me launched on that idea of the witch orb. Oh, it's burning in my brain right now. I love it. I can't wait to do it. Absolutely love having you guys here. Get one. What time have we got? Oh boy. 3:30, and I start around. Oh my god. This is gonna be a long live stream video. Long. Maybe I ought to split it into separate parts. I tell you, looking at a 4-hour video, that's a daunting sight. I'll just watch a video. 4 hours? What? Oh my god, he's mad. No way I'm watching a 4-hour video. It's insane. I'll stop it a little bit too. Get these goobers set and going. Maybe I'll download this video and put up a highlights video. Aloha, sure. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream, my man. I hope I got man right. Sure, cuz he could be anything. Sorry, I just didn't know. Okay, what time is it out in Hawaii right now? And thank you, by the way. We are continuing the Witchlight Extravaganza, which we came up with some really cool ideas for an expansion project on this, for which I need to go to the dollar store tomorrow. I'm gonna make some Witchwood branch orbs. Hi, cat. What? 9:30 p.m. You lucky person. Lucky, lucky, lucky. It is 3:30 a.m. over here, and I am insane. Got some super ideas the other night. Wow, this concept right here is just the tip of the iceberg for where this is going. Revolutionize the haunt tonight. Oh, tomorrow. Hello, cat. Fuzzy intruder. Hey, how you doing? Oh, boy. Woo! Very passionate right now. This live streaming thing just really kicked up my my drive immensely. Having folks on to chat with is super, super cool. And having people to remind me where my funnels are. That also helps. Oh dear, that was amusing. So for the Witchwood spheres, I need balloons, mache paste, paper obviously, maybe some wire. I have some garden wire to form the backbone of the whole thing. Wine does help. Agreed. Agreed. I don't want to get too sloshed though. I might have a student who watches this and, oh, look at my teacher, they're getting drunk. Here, let's pass this around YouTube. No. Teachers are critters of reputation, regrettably. I can drink, but I can't get bugs. Besides, with the new medication I'm going to be trying next week, this is the last chance for alcohol for quite a while. Not supposed to use it with that med. Wow. Now, paper mache has layering. This has defluffing cotton balls. It's about as entertaining. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Yep. I'm either going to find like a small 8-inch beach ball thing, or I'm going to get a round balloon. I'm going to blow it up small. I'm going to mache the outside, cut out sections for a translucent plate, and then I'm going to do it, well, I'm going to do up all the Witchwood stuff, and then I'm going to cut out sections for the translucent plate. And it's going to be a white sphere with a section at the bottom so I can access the batteries, turn them on and off with no problem. Okay. And they're going to look amazing. because they're going to look exactly like that, with the branchy stuff all over them. I'm probably going to get a bunch more sets of the color changing string lights and really go to town with them. The only potential detriment is that somebody with a remote could change the color of all the string lights at once. So, I'm not too worried. Apparently there is a bug loose in the kitchen. The cats are interested. Alright, we need to clear some space. And on this one I've got these wooden discs, which I'm going to put into the design somewhere on here. And then I'm going to wood burn them with a witchy glyph. Down there, up there. Definitely have them separate. Up here. But these will get incorporated into this one. One way or another, we are about to make some seriously amazing stuff. Alright, I am going to do 5 more cotton balls, and then I'm going to soak them and get gluing, because this is mind-numbing. Plastic bag of newspaper. I could, but I am a huge fan of the regularity of the inflatables. The inside for sealing, varnishing, and other painting work is flat, whereas the stuffed trash bag is always wrinkly, oblong, and a nightmare to get well coated with any kind of sealer. I was showing folks off the beach ball pumpkin earlier, which this should be. It's relatively dry now. I'll go ahead and throw it up there again. This thing is just a lot more regular to paint the inside of, because everything was beach ball smooth. So it is much more simplistic to work with versus the inside of the bag pumpkins, which are just, they're all sorts of wrinkles, crinkles, spaces, nooks, crannies. It's not a flat surface in there for sealing. Plus, I kind of want these things to be very, very spherical. Very, very, very spherical. I want witchwood spheres. I might even get, I'll definitely get some creepy cloth and hang it at the bottom. So you'll have the sphere. In fact, I might just drape creepy cloth over the top of the thing, so you'll have that drape coming off. Oh my god. Alexa, set reminder.
What's the reminder for?
Creepy cloth drape.
When should I remind you?
6:05 p.m.
Okay, I'll remind you at 6:05 p.m.
I won't forget it. We do that over the lights at Will's house, and it's great. Oh, this pumpkin? Yeah. I love watching pumpkins come to life. Well, tomorrow's project will be finish varnishing, start blackening, or whiten the inside, finish varnish, and between about next 4 days, these will be done. Do dry brushing and all that good stuff. I'm hoping I have enough brown and orange left over, but I'll find that out beforehand. Go to Walmart if I don't. Burlap is not translucent enough. It'll block too much light. I want a cobweb look to it. Back down. And it is time to play with goobers. Goober time, goober time. Let's see if that's enough. I love this goober technique. So glad I stole it from the interwebs. Alright, let's just get some opening strands going here. Start to go burden on them. Making goobers, la la la. Making goobers. It's goober time. Twist, 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 twist. Let's move the light source starting out a bit. Too far away. Come and see. The project's right in front of me. No. Excellent. 4 big pieces. There, big pieces, big pieces, big pieces. Alright, not quite that kind of big. Oh, fine, fine, fine. Trying to get a bunch of the bottom done early just by bringing it up. It's going to be a nice one. Less controlled than you think. See, the cat even agrees. I'm just trying to get branch-like things in place. 9/10 of the work is done for you just by pulling the piece of cotton apart and getting the shreds. Like right there is a really good shred. So all I'm going to do is drop it on the table here, angle that over, and completely not do what I just said I was going to do because that really farkled up. Close enough. Boom. No, it really isn't. I think so long as you have enough of a bit to start it with. That's why I start up here on the kind of not the neck of the bottle, but the shoulder. I do the wine bottle the same way. That way the strands don't really have a place to fall down. They've got something to hold them up. Hello, cat. How are you tonight, fuzzy cat? Something about that clawing hook spiral shape that I just adore on Halloween stuff. Ooh, untouched space. You know what that means? That means that this is where that disc is going. Just going to mush some cottony stuff on the back of the disc. Smack it right there. Nope, it's got a curve. It's got to curve this way if it curves. Yeah. All my pieces left here are getting very, very stringy. Ah, there's a good flat one. Sort of. I think tomorrow before stream, if I keep working this project, which I should be, I will mix up some of these pieces ahead of time. Or fluff the cotton ahead of time. Or when I'm done with the stream, I will head back to the living room with a whole bunch of cotton balls in a bowl. Get going on them. Yeah, you talking about the drip candles? That's what I think of when I think of candle project for Halloween. The PVC drippers. This is gonna be, yep, there we go. I wonder if these two should intersect. Yes. Yes, they should. That looks great. Yes, kitty cat? What's that? Yep. This has got kind of the same motif as the drippy ones, but I don't know. The cotton definitely doesn't look like drips. It does look like congealed wax, but definitely not a drip look to it, to be sure. That's why I really like it for the witchwood style of effect. Fine, little goober. You don't want to go that way? You don't have to go that way. That way's fine. It's covered. It is just cheap detail, quite frankly. Very cheap detail. Let's get a close-up of that. So that's what we're going with. And then I'll wood burn thing into that wooden disc, some sort of glyph. That'll be awesome. Cool. Yeah, definitely a more glossy look. I'll agree with you 2,000% on that. Super, super, super. Oh, I still have some left. So I was going to finish up here, but I'm going to use up all my goobers. I never would have thought that these twisted strand effects would come out this way. I was pretty sure that would just be absolutely fruitless, but it's glorious. Absolutely glorious. I agree, if you wanted like wood clawing up a tombstone, this would be the stuff to use. 1000%. I may even do that. This is just so simple to do. Again, the only even vaguely annoying factor is the separating of the fluff, which, you know, I'll sit down, watch some Netflix, and just pull apart fluff balls as I go. I'll have a whole bowl for these things ready to go for tomorrow. Then you can always just twist them up into those braided strands, which add a little extra creep. It's really good. Right now I'm kind of just setting foundation though, so I'm not super worried about the extra creep factor. Tomorrow when I get back to it, all of this will be dried, and then I can just start laying extra pieces on it. I want that piece to either be smaller or curled. There we go. Or just tug it off. I want a curl down there. Do I have enough stuff to put in the foundation of a curl down there? Can I get a twist? I can get a twist. Can I get a twist long enough that it will look good, or will it look crappy for tonight and then get finished up tomorrow? Look crappy. I want a twist. There we go. That hook and curl, get this little piece off. Off. Good. I'll build on that tomorrow. You know, I was thinking of cotton batting, because you could take a strip of it and twist it in the mache paste as well. And that might be even faster, like a thin strip. I may swing into Walmart tomorrow and take a look. But I have 2 bags of cotton balls here, so there's stuff to burn through, to be sure. All right, well, it's 4 a.m., so I'm gonna just give a last highlight look, detail look at this. Kill some lights. Hit the wood jibber. And that's going to be the more or less outline of the finished product. I am super impressed with these. I can't wait to do the witch globe. Can't wait. I'm going to go check my my Amazon stuff for these things and probably order about maybe 5-6 more, because they weren't more than about $4 a piece. They were amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, no problem, Chris. You are under no obligation to chat. I'm just happy that you're here, man. Absolutely happy to be here. Thank you. These are amazingly cool. I love them. Have a good night, folks. I am going to go shut down the stream. Everybody sleep well, and I will catch you next time I catch you for more fun shenanigans. And if you miss it, hey, stream's going to be on the channel. So take a look, fast forward through, find what you like, take what you want, and stay spooky. Come, D'Artagnan. You saved me, kid.